Hello, welcome to the EP7 podcast. You are here with Rachel Donovan and the founder of EP7, Mr. George Helou.
Thanks, Rachel, and thank you for joining us. We love talking about how to get the heart into everything we do to get a lot out of life.
Whether it be relationships, business, careers, you name it. So, let's get started. How you going, George?
I'm good. I'm looking forward to this topic because I don't like scam artists, Rachel.
Yeah, you're revved up for this one.
Yeah, I think I am because I've been scammed enough times for this to be personal.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'm going to hand it over to you to do the intro.
But Rachel, have you ever been scammed?
No.
Gosh.
Not money-wise.
I am
Never had enough money to invest it. So it's bittersweet, I'm afraid.
I was about to say, I'm so jealous that you've dodged those bullets.
Nasty.
Look, I've been scammed, but half the time I scammed myself because I didn't have any critical thinking around what I was investing in, really looking closely at things and getting a sense for the track record of the people involved, how tangible what they're talking about, in a sense that I could relate it to true value of everyday people, where people want to get their money out for it. These are things that just generally, if you're a good critical thinker, you would start to get a good feel on whether you should invest in something or not. But this podcast is not about being a good investor. This is more about how to identify blatant scam artists online who are saying, join, invest, and, oh, look, your money's growing, but don't pull it out yet because we're about to release this and it's going to go to this next level. Meanwhile, it's a pyramid scheme. You see, what they do is that they give initially lots of people a small amount to invest in. So it's like all the reasons why you're going to make a lot of money, and the people that are coming in early are going to benefit the most. So people put in money that they can afford to lose. That's not a problem, right? Healthy skepticism at that stage does exist, except there are very common tricks that they do. And one of them is they will let the early people that are coming on board take some of the dividends of those that are coming on board after them as little wins. Then they collect the testimonials from these people where they say they actually did earn, and they're not lying, right?
That's tricky.
So, yeah. And then that creates momentum like a snowball of more people coming on because now you've got awesome testimonials. They might choose, I'd imagine, this is just me now guessing, they may choose to give a little bit more just to create more momentum. And then all of a sudden, when they see this beast spiraling out of control with money flowing in, and everyone's got their own accounts of their investment and they're seeing their money grow, but it's not real because you have to withdraw it.
Can I just ask you quickly though, George, because I haven't done this before. Is this usually stock market related?
Well, no.
What are people investing in? Is they investing in the business?
They're invested in some service, could be an advertising model where they are apparently selling clicks on Google, and it's a no-brainer way to make money off people that will buy these advertising packages.
And this opportunity would have come via an email.
Yeah, or someone's told them about it because they're already sucked in. You see, this is the problem. When these people are excited about making a lot of money, then they're telling their friends, they're telling their family members. It happened to me. You know, I remember it was called Freelander Oops, and it was the same formula back then that I saw when my client asked me about this scam. I kid you not, it was just as clear as day that these people follow the same formula.
So how could you tell when you saw it?
Okay.
This time recently?
Okay, well, how I could tell was there was a conveyor belt of excuses why money had been delayed or frozen. And they would begin to blame PayPal, and they begin to blame a bank's processes. But the guy would talk about how he's frustrated, but it's okay. He's making leeway here or there. So he leads them like this soap drama of a journey and everyone gets emotionally involved. And now they're on the scam artist's side as if he's the victim of being held back from releasing money of his successful business model that they're all going to get a piece of. And then as he's delaying, more people are coming in. So what he's trying to do is trying to buy time to maximize the money. And then all of a sudden he's gone.
Vanished,
or he creates some excuse that his hands are tired and he's been hard done by. And then all of a sudden the money is just no longer there for him. And then there's like little glimpses of maybe it will, we're not sure yet. Maybe it will. And they simmer it out to nothing and they're left with nothing. I know.
Do you know what makes me
It
sad?
is
Because
sad.
often people in these situations, like life, there's a lot of expenses, and if you've got a family and things like that, and you're working hard and you see these opportunities, and if you're in that position where that would, make a massive difference in your life, you're a bit desperate or something, you put a lot of money into that, and that's just awful, taking advantage of people.
Yeah, I know. But the thing is, people are trusting. People don't expect someone to be blatantly lying. And so when I looked at the video of this guy, I honestly could see a blatant sociopath knowing he's lying, but loving the fact that he's a con artist that can pull it off. And I was watching him deliberately play people on video. Now, most people could never do that. Most people can't lie like that. So when you see someone being that convincing, you think that must be true. How the hell does someone lie like that and pull it off as if they're authentic? And what I'm saying to you very clearly is there are plenty of people like that. They will look you in the eyes, they will talk with passion, and they'll lie. Now, for me, it took me a long time to come to terms with the fact that that does happen a lot. But now I just accept it, right? Anyway, what I noticed, the first thing is that there is no real value in the model for real life every day. So, for example, I'll even name it. This Traffic Monsoon website was an example of a scam, then went belly up, right? Now, you know what it was? It was all about you get a share in the advertising pool and that you're going to earn money by clicking on the banners and links repeatedly. So they've got a system where these banners and links are being clicked on repeatedly so that people's advertising money is being used up and somehow you're going to get a share of that. Can you see that it is a stupid, benign, there's no value. It's all deception. You're just conning people out of advertising dollars. It's never going to be sustainable. The business model makes no sense. Yet you ask people who are advertising in it and they can barely describe what the true value of the business model is. So let that be a good sign that if you can't really believe in something and explain it to someone in a way where the world benefits from what you're invested in, where the world as a consumer, not as an investor, because there's nothing sustainable if you're not delivering genuine value. That's a great way to knock out a lot of these scams, straight away. And don't believe in people's video and written testimonials, because they had the small win. They were part of the people roped in and tricked with a little bit of a win. But guess what happens? They put the money back in because now that they've had the experience that the money's real, they want more. So they know that when they give these dividends out, they're coming back because their next dividend's coming. And why wouldn't you want your money to earn more money, right? So the scam artist leverages that. So don't think just because you're reading genuine testimonials or videos that is your proof that it works.
So you're trying to show people here like critical thinking, little tips of critical thinking?
Yeah. So critical thinking is obviously you want to understand why and how is this real or may not be real. And you got to run the possibilities and look at all the evidence that can explain why it could be a scam, but why also it could be real. And if you are patient and you slow it down and you start to look at the entire business model that they're presenting to you, and once you slow it down, you'll start to notice that there are things that don't make sense. And if you feeling connecting to it, your gut starts to kind of tighten up a little, you know. But not everyone is in tune with their gut or allowing themselves to feel that gut. So if they're stuck in their head level analyzing, then at least critical thinking can show the discrepancies, right?
Is with this scamming is often a time pressure, saying you need to make a decision within a certain amount of time. They're rushing you to just quickly make the decision.
Yeah, because it's all time driven to the next thing that's going to happen, getting because of now.
Which that's always be an alarm bell, wouldn't it? Because
it is an alarm bell, but it's also something that marketing promotions, they sell cars that way. They sell everything that way. So I wouldn't hang my hat too much on that alone.
Okay.
But here's another one for you. Search the name of the company and the word scam, fraud.
That's a great one.
Then scroll lower than the SEO propaganda that attempts to hide the truth. Because these guys know how to get a lot of people to post under those names. And then they go, is this really a scam? Well, I put money in it and I've been making money. And initially I wasn't sure. And so they have this conniving, oh my gosh, it makes you sick in the stomach. Seriously, how sophisticated they've thought this out so that they can dupe so many people who are not dumb. They're not dumb, you know. It's just they're trusting, right? Mm. So always do that. Go to the second, third page, fourth page of Google and beyond, and there you'll start to see, because they won't be able to block out all the ones beyond that.
Mm.
Next thing is check out something like a scam advisor website that lists these types of scams. Yeah. So there is one called scamadvisor.com, but I'm sure there are many, and you can look for the people that know what they're looking for, and then you can always lean on them to show you that they've done the work for you and they'll expose it. And I think Traffic Monsoon was on there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And remember, excuses will keep coming and the reasons why money's not being released will keep changing. That is definitely an alarm bell to keep in mind. Now, for whatever reason you feel like gambling and you feel like you have to try it, put a small amount in that you can afford to lose. And then when they claim, right, that you've earned double or triple that money in your so-called bank account with them, try to withdraw it all and see what happens. If you have received the money, then reserve the assumption that you are being baited to think through the pyramid scheme that you've got that money. So what you do is you keep most of it and put the smaller amount in again and milk it. So milk the scam artist if you really want to be clever, right? That's something that if you really want to go there, for me, I don't go there because I know the chances of even getting the first amount back are like 1%. So why gamble with odds like that, you know?
And isn't that the sort of idea anyway with any sort of investments, is that if you put the money down, that's why I don't gamble, because I always think I'm prepared to lose this money and I'm never prepared to lose money.
Yeah.
So if you're not willing to lose it, perhaps you should really, really think hard about what you're going to do.
Yeah. I'd also look for whether they have a hotline, a phone number, and sometimes they can pretend they've got a physical address. So, you know, you've got to be mindful that they may have covered that. But often they will hide. They won't allow you to contact them. There's no phones. But that doesn't mean they're not scam artists. So they could actually have a phone and be paying people very cheap money to just run rings around and put you off and say, oh, we'll get back to you, and they'll just buy time. So, you know, these things may be a factor, but I wouldn't hang my hat on any one thing. You've got to look at the bigger picture.
So, George, you've given us quite a few things to look out for there. Is there anyone in particular that stands out or anything else that you want to leave them with?
Yeah, I think the main thing is that if it's not something that gives you a product that you would enjoy using, that is of genuine benefit to you or someone you know personally, if you can't understand the business model because it's weird, it's out there, it's apparently talking about some weird advertising or some weird thing that will change stuff that you're not really connected to in your everyday, don't go there, because they needed to create something that you don't understand to get away with what they're doing. So they can ride on that spin and keep you confused so that you just trust their passion and trust the fact that you made a little money or someone claims they did to take you for that ride.
Well, thanks, George. I hope many people avoid scams because as I said, they really, really upset me. I do know people that have been done by scams as well, and it's just really, really horrible. It can, break up relationships depending on how much money people invest and everything.
Yeah.
So,
Rachel, this is just one type of scam. So I would encourage people on the EP7 Facebook official page to share what other scams they have either been burnt by, that they want to share and inform people, and which ones they've heard about or which ones they think may be a scam. And we can start to discuss it. That would be a bit of a detective work to check it out.
Yeah, let's help each other out. That's what I think. So
yeah, cool.
Well, thank you for listening, and thanks for sharing, George.
No worries.
It's great listening to you.
See you guys.
Thank you for joining us on another EP7 podcast. If you liked what you heard, remember to share and subscribe so you're notified of every podcast released. If you have any questions or would like to connect with us, please jump on the EP7 official Facebook page. We'd love to hear from you.